Hello, world. Welcome back to Professional Business Solutions, the channel where I'm minding my business and yours too. Today, I have a great friend of mine. Her name is Denise Hadnot, and she will be speaking to you for a few minutes concerning her revolutionary system for making money in real estate.
Hello, world.
She has just released her latest book called How to Create Sufficient Cash Flow to Be Who You Really Are and Do Whatever the hell it is that you love to. Hey,
Hi, Bridget.
it's great seeing you again, as always, considering everything
Same
that's going
here.
on. Thank God for the creators of Zoom.
Right?
Well, I want to say, though, before you start, I read the book last evening and it was very thought provoking. Me. I've been
Okay, good.
for over 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. And after I read your blueprint and applying it to my business model, I think I need to go back to the drawing board. So
What made you think you need to go back to the drawing board?
I read your blueprint, and a lot of the things that you did put in the book, I have been doing, and I've been going along step by step, but it has literally taken me
But like what? When you say, like, what have you been doing? What do you mean?
as far as why I need cash flow, the
Right,
why phase.
right.
Like,
Well, let me ask you a question. When you say cash flow, you understand the difference in cash flow and income? Because that's something that a lot of times we get confused. We think our income is our cash flow.
actually, I didn't until after I read it in your book.
Okay then. Okay.
So,
But didn't it, like, it kind of open your eyes, because a lot of times we think our cash flow is our actual income, and it's like that's not even my cash flow. That's when you start realizing. I know at one point for me it was like I don't have any cash flow. All I have is income. I have enough just to pay my bills. I have no cash flow. Well, wait a minute.
and that's what did it for me. That and the velocity budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to tell too much because I don't want to be a spoiler. So please go out and get this book when she finished announcing it. But to go back to the point that you were making, yes, working and owning a business, paying off bills and paying off debt. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's the only way that I'm not doing it strategically like you are explaining it in that book. And like I said, I've been working with money and numbers for over 20 years. But again,
Right.
having that blueprint, just like it says, having that blueprint makes a whole big difference. And yes, understanding the difference between cash flow and income. Because all
Right.
we think about is, okay, I have this debt, I have these bills, I just need to work, I need to make this money, pay it off, and I'm good. But the way you explain it in that book gives a whole new light on it. So, but before you take the floor, I do want to say that I remember asking you what was the motivation behind you writing this blueprint in order for you to share it with us all. You had
Right.
two words: financial freedom.
Right. Right.
Now, discuss with us what financial freedom means to you.
So for me, financial freedom is, I always look at it as asset building, assets over liabilities. That's one of the things I'm always talking about, um, increasing your cash flow, which of course you can increase it by, reducing your expenses. You can increase it by increasing your income. But those are things that you can do that you can increase your cash flow. So increasing my cash flow, making sure that I'm debt free, making sure that my credit scores are where I need them to be, 750, 700, 750 or more, because then you can use your credit as a tool, to be able to, again, increase your assets. And then also you're looking at your capital. You want to be in a position to where you can always increase your capital. You want to make sure you have your business credit in line. So for me personally, when I have all of these different factors in place and my income is at a point where I'm not in survival mode, moving a little bit more, past stable, you comfortable when you're at success. But for me, once I get to the point where I can be at the significance level, to where I can take care of me, take care of the things that, you know, keep me in my desired lifestyle, but then I can also give back and help others, then to me, then I will be at financial freedom.
That's financial freedom. And that's what I put together as well. All those different steps, like I said, the why. That first step is surviving. And there was what, 4 steps?
4 steps. It's survival.
To be honest, like I said, when I went back and looked over my little plan, I'm still stuck in between the first and second steps.
Right. Now, you know, it's you said, you talk about the plan. When did you, I guess, first decide to put together a plan? And when you did, what was your thoughts on putting together your plan?
Basically, like I said, just trying to work to make more money. This was before I started the professional business solutions. You know, I had the other couple of DBAs. I was doing very little consulting stuff with it. So basically just working, my 9 to 5. That's that I learned. You work, you pay your bills. And even though I didn't get, you know, years ago, because life happens.
Right,
absolutely. With everybody, you know. Absolutely. So I don't have it all together. Not perfect. So, but I do like to share the knowledge I do have. But at that point, it was when I was starting to get my life back together. And I looked at all of that, the things that I had going on. I looked at how much money I was making, and I looked at all the debt that I was in. So at that point, and that had to be in maybe right after I met you, back 2015 or 16-ish. So that's why I said it's taken me almost every bit of almost 5 years, actually, to get back on track. And, you know, I've been putting things together, but again, when you have that blueprint, I've written things down, I've written bills down, I've written expenses down, I wrote my income. Of course, that's what accountants do. You write down your income and you write down your expenses, and you put them together. Your net income or your net loss is. So that's what I was doing. So just working and trying to pay it all off. But again, I have you as a good friend who have been coaching me along, you know, the way, and you've been giving me tips. And yes, people, every time
we hold each other accountable.
Yeah, exactly. Accountability. We do hold each other accountable. And yes, whenever she do come up with some of these models, she called me and used me as the test dummy sometimes. So, VP, I need you to go in here and register, please, and I need you to do that and tell me how it works and let me know what's going on so I know what to do. All right. So we kind of help each other. So, but it was
right. So let me ask you this: when you were doing your plan, did you have an end goal that you put on the plan?
Nope, not at all.
No,
because that goal was
that's one of the most important things that we forget when we put together a plan. A lot of times we put together a plan, we just start jotting down, like you say, I'm just going to jot down my bills. I'm going to jot down how much money I have coming in, and then I'm going to figure it out from there. But there's no goal. So it's like we have to begin with the end in mind. Like, what is my goal? So if my goal is to become debt free, then how am I going to do that? You know what I mean? If my goal is to get my credit scores up 100 points, what am I going to do that? So I think it's important when we start looking at creating a blueprint to really figure out what's the goal. And then when you figure out the goal, whatever that is, then you can work backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, at that point, at that time, no, I did not. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I remember reading that book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and that was one of the first bullet points that he made, begin with the end in mind. So, but yeah, I didn't have that in mind. I was just going with the motions, going with the flow. Pay your bills, yeah. Then repair your credit. But yeah, so anyway, the book was very good. I really loved how you tied everything together, starting with the backstory. So you guys, please go read her backstory. You've got to get it. So just start with the backstory and then going into, okay, this is what I need to present to you. And then the ending, tying it together, and this is how you do that. So it was a real good read. I loved it. Of course, anything dealing with finance most of the time I love anyways. But I really love it. So, but I do have another question though. Can you tell them again, just reiterate what the importance of creating a financial blueprint? Why is it important? Why is it important again to create a financial blueprint?
Okay, so first off, it's important because like we were just talking about having that goal. Whatever that goal is, if your goal is home ownership, if your goal is to buy investment properties, if your goal is to become debt free, if your goal is to save so much money, you know, whatever your goal is financially, I think it's important to put together this blueprint and then break it up in the different portions, meaning break it up in credit. You know, you have credit, you have debt, you have your income, you have cash flow, you have that team that's going to be, you know, a part of it. So you look at all of this and then you start looking at, okay, if I'm going to create a blueprint, I need to pull my credit report. I need to analyze my credit report. I need to look at it and see what my credit scores are. I need to look at my debt and see how much debt I have, and then figure out a plan on how I can pay my debt off. I need to look at my income and maybe understand that I need more income. You know what I mean? Be realistic about what it is, you know, what your current situation is, so it'll help you to get to that next step. If you know, okay, I want to become a real estate investor. Okay, well now I'm going to be working on my credit, and working on my debt, working on building my cash flow, but I need a team. You know what I mean? I need a team in place. And part of the team, like you and I do, Bridget, is having somebody hold you accountable.
Right.
And an accountability partner does not have to be an expert in what it is that you're trying to do. It's just someone that you can share your goals with. And then, you know, between the two of you, just like you and I do, we'll get together. You know, before the whole pandemic, we were getting together like once over. Okay, this is what our goals. This is what my goals are. You give me your goals, and we just kind of go through it. You know, okay, where are you with this? Where are you with this? And it's just somebody to help hold you accountable. But when you do that, you can put together a plan, and then you work that plan. And that's why I think it's so important to have that accountability partner or a coach or someone when you're working a plan, because they can help, you know, motivate you.
Right.
Help motivate you, help you when you have those small wins, those small successes. And it's important. That's important to recognize those, no matter what is, you paid off a debt. That's important. You know, it should be celebrated, you know, because when you pay off a debt, you just increased your cash flow. And a lot of people don't look at it that way, but that's what you've done. You pay off a debt, your cash flow just increased, because that's money that you don't have to spend next month.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why it's important to really put together a blueprint, so you can have an idea of where you're going, you can keep up with it, and then when you reach that goal, then it kind of makes it a little bit easier to take it to the next level.
Right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's awesome. One more thing before we do close. I want you to tell, again, I'm trying not to be a spoiler, guys. I'm trying not to be a spoiler. But there is a challenge that she does have going on. And I want you to tell everyone about your call to action, which is one of your main.
Well, the call to action was to pull together women that have an interest in investing in real estate. Because I feel like women have a way of networking and are able to really, once you really teach women, in my opinion, once you really teach a woman the basics of investing, they know how to network and pull a team together, whether that team could be somebody that's going to bring the capitals, whether it's a team, you know, someone on the team that's going to be bringing in, you know, the credit, or somebody that's going to be doing the rehab, whatever it is. Women have a way of pulling together and making some things happen. Now, it's not what my mind was thinking, but I'm going to say it the clean way. Women have a way of making some things happen. And because of that, I think females are so strong when it comes to investing in real estate. I do. I think females are so strong. And a lot of times it's fear. Fear because it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons, you know, why I really wanted to. That's why the call to action, that's where that came from. Because I'm like, I want women to know we could do this together. You know, we all hold each other accountable. It's enough out there for all of us. Mm-hmm. And it's enough out there for us to collaborate and, you know, make some money.
Of course, absolutely. So now, what if some of the women who are watching this video do want to contact you and collaborate with you, also purchase these books, and maybe join the call of action, or find out how much deeper it is?
Well, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook is at Denise Hadnot, and it's HADNOTT. And then also my website is denisehadnot.com. The books are there. I am actually revising the website to have more information because I'm trying to get more freebies available out there to people, just to get more information out. And more checklists. That's another thing I'm doing, is creating more checklists, because a lot of times people are just like, where do I start? So I want to have the checklists out there. And then I also have a challenge going on right now on Facebook. It's a 7-day home ownership challenge that I'm getting people involved in. So, I mean, and then of course I still have the savings challenge. That's a freebie that I give away, and I get hit up for that probably at least 4 times a week. Can you send me the savings? Can you send me the savings chart? I sure can. I think it's important, especially right now. I think it's very important right now because wealth matters. It does. And we have to do our part. And for me right now, I feel like I'm working on trying to be. I'm not gonna say trying. I'm working on becoming a voice for financial literacy and also for real estate.
Awesome. Okay. Again, if you would like to learn more about Denise, I know for one of her platforms on Instagram, if you go to her page, there's a link in her bio for to purchase this book, How to Create Sufficient Cash Flow. And I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. Anyway, her book, How to Create Sufficient Cash Flow.
To be who you really are and do whatever the hell it is that you love doing.
Bam.
Bam.
Okay. Thank you all for chiming in, tuning in to Professional Business Solutions YouTube channel again. Please watch these videos, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, please, and share. Have a good evening.